Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Michael King, back again with another video. So, essentially, I'm going to analyzing the GBPUSD, and GBPUSD on a monthly time frame is a bearish market. You can see that we have a series of lower high, then also series of lower low. Then we have a lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. So overall, on the monthly time frame is a bearish market. So there is a need for you to have a better understanding of what the market is doing on the bigger time frame before you move on to the smaller time frame. That is why I usually start my analysis on the monthly time frame. So now looking at the monthly time frame right now, you realize that currently we have a favorable lookup right here, which is likely to be areas to drop price to. This price is likely to head towards this favorable lookup right here. But my overall bias on GPUs and monthly time frame is that I expect price to trade lower to the favorable lookup right here, then price should head high to this favorable lookup right here. One of the reasons why I feel like on the long term, that is in the next 2, 3, 4, or 5 months, price might want to aim for this point right here, called the fact that if you notice, realize that price have been going up from this point all the way to this point right here. This we are seeing right here is just like a retracement, because remember what I said, the overall trend is a bearish pattern. So I expect price to probably hit a little bit up to this point, then continue the downward trend. However, I expect price to clear all the favorable lookups. Price already cleared this right here, as you can see. Price head a little bit lower, but I still want to see price still go higher to this point right here to clear several lookup right here, then it's head overall downward. So what I'm just going to do right now is on the monthly time frame, I'm just going to mark this silver lookup right here and also this silver lookup right here. So I'm going to draw it right now. Let's just use maybe the color green just to be able to distinguish it, because we're still going to draw other highs like highs and lows. So let's just use the color green, and the level is at 1.23375. so that is that. So I've taken note of the low point lookup, then we'll also take note of the higher parts also. Alright, then let's use the color green. Alright, so perfect. Now let me also draw for the higher parts, that is this area right here. Then make the line a little bit straight. Likewise, is at 1.25001. Then now, as you can see, I've drawn favorable lookup for this lower part I expect price to draw towards. Then let's also take note of this favorable lookup right here. If you look carefully, you realize that price is yet to trade higher to that point. So it means we're expecting price to get there, but this is the monthly time frame. So it means before price can get to that point, it might be the end of the year before price can trade there. But it's important as a forex trader that you have a long-term view, because when you have a long-term view, you'll be able to make analysis that will guide your day-to-day trading towards the future. There is a need for you to have a general understanding of what price is doing on a bigger time frame. So now we've drawn this favor lookup right here, then we've likewise drawn the favor lookup right here. So now that being said, what we're going to do next is, since we have a general idea of price heading to this point, then head to this point right here, what we're going to do right now, we are going to move to the weekly time frame so that we can see what price is doing on the weekly time frame a little bit. The weekly time frame is more like a decomposed data of the monthly time frame. So a single candle on the monthly time frame will be 4 candles on the weekly time frame. So let's go to the weekly time frame to just have a general idea of what is going on. So this is the weekly time frame right here, and if you look carefully, you realize that in between the favor lookup, we have this order block right here. So the fact that we had the order block right here, and we also have this favor lookup, is a confirmation that indeed there's a high possibility of price trading to this favor lookup here. First reason is favor lookup. Now a second reason was when we come to the weekly time frame and realize that we have the order block right here. So let's also take note of the order block. We just draw a line, maybe we should just use the color red so we can know the difference between the order block line and also the fair value gap line. So just straighten the line a little bit. Then we will move on to the day time frame to also take note of some other areas. So now looking right here, you will realize that the first thing first is fair value gap, second point order block. So we have two confirmations now to draw price towards this area right now. So now that being said, let's move on to the daily time frame. So now this is daily time frame now. If you realize during this period we have, okay, let me decrease it a little bit. Perfect. During this period right here, from this point all the way to this point right here, realize that what we had was a downtrend. Then we had a transition from a downtrend from this area right here, this break of structure. We had a transition from this downtrend to uptrend. So now if we are having a transition to an uptrend, but if you look at what is happening currently right here, you realize that we've also had a transition from this series of higher and higher low, that is this uptrend movement, to a downtrend. But why do we call what is happening right here a downtrend? Because of the fact that if you look at this carefully, you realize that price headed low, went higher, went low at this point right here, went higher as you can see, then what, trade lower, violating this low. Because one of the basic foundation when it comes to trading is that when we are having a uptrend, you don't expect price to break lower than a higher low. What I'm trying to point out here is that when I'm having this uptrend right here, here is not supposed to be violated. Likewise, this point, this point, this point, and this point right here. You can see that no matter the way price was making some retracements, it did not head to this low. This retracement right here did not head to this low. This retracement right here did not head to this low. This retracement did not head lower than this point right here. That is, when we're having a series of uptrends or even a downtrend, there are some rules that guide it. So the fact that this low was violated at this point right here shows that we've had a transition from an uptrend to a downtrend. So it means currently on the daily time frame, from this point right here, this moment right here, so what we're having right here now is a series of downtrend. Because look carefully, when we break this structure, what the price did, price head high but not higher than this, then it's traded lower, meaning that this was now a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So it means what we expect price to do moving forward for this week is that we expect price to probably go up a little bit, but not higher than this point right here. So when price trade higher, what will price do? Price will keep going down. So continue this downtrend pattern. So the fact that the first point is we have a fair value gap from the monthly time frame. Second point is order block from the weekly time frame. Now the third point is a downtrend that we're having right now on what, the daily time frame. So we have three confluence, that is three confirmations that price is likely to head to this area right here. So now I've given you guys a general understanding of what we are having currently on this point right here is a bearish market. So it means you are likely to keep looking for sell setup until price gets to somewhere around this red line. Then if you can see a break of structure, that is price tend to want to move higher, that will be a confirmation that you can start buying and aim for this point right here. Let's bring the perfect, aim for this point right here. So before I feel price wants to head to this point right here, price must first head low to this other block right here. So now that being said, that is basically all for you to expect looking at the bigger time frame. So what I will do next is I'm just going to go to the 1 hour time frame to see if I can also give you guys one or two ideas of how you can trade for this week. Now this is the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour time frame is my time frame for entry. So I don't know about you guys, but it's my time frame for entry. And now what we are having right here is, let me see if I can decrease that a little bit. Okay, we are not able to see those areas I shade. However, we can just look at what we have right here and just have one or two bias on the 1 hour time frame. Now we have a clear understanding that overall is a bearish market on the daily time frame. That is, price is making that lower low and lower high just to get to that area of interest I'm looking at on the monthly time frame, that is that fair value gap, and also the other block in the weekly time frame. So now looking at this right now, you can see that this was when price went a little bit higher, But this point right here, this area right here, I'm just going to shade it so that we can have a better understanding. Okay, perfect. So let's come back to the daily time frame. This is the area I shaded. This was the area I shaded. So this is our lower high currently. This is the high that led to this move to the downside. I want you to take it as that. So it means no matter what price wants to do, we don't expect price to go above this line I just marked right now. Now, if you come back to the 1 hour time frame just to look at what I just pointed out, you realize that when price traded low to this point right here, price went all the way up to this point. This was, I think, NFP for January probably. Price went up all the way to this point, even swept this liquidity, but price did not violate the high. Now, let's keep looking at this right now. It means what we're having right here is no matter what price wants to do right here, we don't expect price to head to this point here. So it means whatever analysis you're trying to conduct your analysis around this area with the mindset of price heading low. If price moving forward to this week, which I don't think is going to happen, if price to trade above this point right here, it means this bias of we having a bearish pattern in the daily time frame is actually wrong. So you have to switch your focus. But moving forward, you have to have a clear idea for this week that price is not expected to go above 1.27750 level. You don't expect price to go above that point, because if price go above that point, it will invalidate the bias of we having a bearish market on the daily time frame. So that being said, that is all for GBPUSD analysis. If you enjoy, please hit the like button, share to your friends, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.